Antonio from Akari Press. We're on the Indiegogo, $71,597. Pick up that Santana Baby triple cover pack. And of course, if you go to the Indiegogo and you want to check out Brand, you want to see what it's about, there's a link there. You can read the first 21 pages of Brand for free. Also have a direct link to the preview in the description if you guys are so inclined. So let me know. All right. So I wanted to talk because I've gotten a lot of feedback over the last few days. I've had some pretty big interviews. Had Jeff Smith on, which that was a thrill. I had Jeff on. That took about 6 months to get that set up. I approached them. I think right at probably about the third week of January, I think. So it was like, it was, I thought about it and what I wanted to do. I was like, let me try to use what I have as far as content. I did the Steve Englehart interview, and I used the Steve Englehart interview to get the Ann Nacini interview. So then I sent the Ann Nacini interview to Jeff Smith, and then Jeff Smith watched the Ann Nacini interview, and he told me how much he liked it. And matter of fact, when he came on right before we went live, he was like, "Man, I watched that Ann Nacini interview a couple times. It was great." So he enjoyed that. He thought that was a fun interview, and that's what convinced him to give me an hour of his time. I was and shout out to his assistant Kathleen. She was a huge help, helping me coordinate things and making sure that we kept everybody on task, because I was supposed to do the interview. It was June, and then they told me that they were going to move it to July, and then he had to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, Jeff went to San Diego Comic-Con, and then so I was like, oh man, so he's doing cons now, so he's definitely not going to come on now. Even though he's getting ready to do the Tukey books, what he said on the stream, 3 200-page graphic novels. That's gonna be impressive. But I've been looking at some of the Tukey stuff. I'm interested in reading that. But I knew with his schedule, and she was very clear. She's like, when we do this, she said, I talked to Jeff. Jeff likes you. He wants to do an interview with you, but you've got 1 hour. And she was like, that's it. She's like, when he comes on, you got 1 hour, do with it what you will. So don't waste time. So I sent them the link about a half hour before, because they were concerned about how the internet was going. And actually you saw during the stream, Jeff's internet cut out, and then he came, fortunately they didn't freaking, because Kathleen told me, she said, I'm going to stay right here. Before we went live, Kathleen was like, I'm staying right here. And in case something happens, because Jeff didn't understand, he was kind of, a boomer, and he didn't understand how to do some of the computer stuff, even though we're using StreamYard now, and it's pretty easy, but he was like, I don't know. So I'm just glad that Kathleen agreed to stay with him. She was like, hey, I'm stay with you, and if something happens, we can get you right back up and running. And yeah, his internet cut out, and she went right in there and she got him plugged right back in. Boom, and he was right. So we didn't miss much time on the stream, which was great. So big tip of the hat to her. She's an awesome person and super friendly. And apparently Jeff is going to send me a copy of the Bone hardcover, which I'm really excited. He's going to sign one for me and send it. I was like, yeah, send me one. Love it. Big shout out to Jeff Smith for agreeing to come on this channel and, actually answer some questions from, myself and a few of the fans that were in the chat. And then a few days later, we had Ethan Van Sciver. People had been asking me forever to have Ethan on the channel. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to have Ethan on yet. I've seen Ethan go on channels with like 100 and something people. Dude got like 120, 130 people. He'd be like, yeah, I'll come on for an hour or so, whatever. And I was just like, okay, here's my advice to anyone that is trying to do a YouTube channel. If you're going to have a big impact guest like Ethan Van Sciver on, make sure you can maximize it. Number one, I built my channel up and made sure it was monetized so that the content, I can get the most out of the content that I'm creating there. So that interview that I did with Ethan, I'll earn money off of that interview for years to come. People will find it a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. They will find that interview and they will watch it, and I'll get, it's monetized, so I'll get ads from it. So that's a big thing for me. And I don't know, people really responded because it was different from obviously I don't know Jeff Smith, but over the last year I've gotten to know Ethan Van Sciver, and I specifically, when I asked him a few weeks ago, I said, hey, you had me on your channel for the first time on August 11th of 2018. That anniversary is coming up. I would like you to come on my channel, if possible, on August the 11th of 2019. That's the 1 year anniversary. So much has happened over the last year, and I wanted to, have that conversation with Ethan. It was an incredible conversation. And I think it's important that people see Ethan like that. There's a lot of people that, feel Ethan is this or they feel Ethan is that. They have a lot of, Ethan, by his own admission, he knows everybody doesn't love him. So, and it's like, but I felt like I helped people to see the Ethan that I see. Obviously some of these weirdos that, troll, and because some of the trolls came to this channel, after I did the stream with Ethan. So I was like, okay, man, it's like, you don't like Ethan, you don't like me, whatever. That's the thing I've noticed when I've been doing, even, doing the reviews, even in the beginning, before I let the preview of brand out, when I was just explaining the concepts of brand and what brand was about, all of a sudden I'd get a DM. Hey, Antonio, I heard you describing this. You might want to change this, or I don't like this. I want you to change that. And I was like, I have a thing about unsolicited opinions. I'm like, look, we put the work out there to be criticized. I do these, you do these YouTube videos. People are like, hey, I like this video, I didn't like this, or whatever. But at the end of the day, blinders. I have to keep laser focused. I have to keep doing what I'm doing, because I've noticed a lot of times people are like, Antonio, when you had such and such on, you asked this question. I don't, I wish you hadn't asked this question. And I'm like, I have to do what works for me. It's like, I have to do what I feel is right. I have to do what I said earlier. I know that Ethan Van Sciver helped me raise quite a bit of money and get a lot of backers, but I helped get quite a few of those backers as well. It's the same thing I said. I got the Steve Englehart interview on my own, and then I used that to get the Ann Nacini interview, and then I used the Ann Nacini interview to get the Jeff Smith interview, and now I'm sending out the Jeff Smith interview to other people so that I can get interviews with them. I mean, that's kind of how it works. If you do something that's fun and people watch it and they enjoy it, then they'll go, he seems like that, that might be okay. I'll give him an hour. That's fine. So that's all that's all I ever wanted to accomplish on those type of things. Same with the preview, or people's like, hey, I like the preview. Hey, I didn't like the preview. I've had people email me and DM me saying, Antonio, I've decided not to read the preview. If you're not going to read the preview, that's cool. You don't have to read the preview. I'm not holding a gun to anybody's hand and making anybody read it. But it's done what it's supposed to do. A lot of people have read it. They're sharing it. I've gotten a lot of new backers. I've had backers specifically tell me, like, I didn't know what brand was. I checked it out. I read your preview. I liked it. I want to know more about the story. That's what it's supposed to do. And it was also supposed to kind of quiet some of the people that were out there saying, hey, Antonio's scamming people. Hey, Antonio and Kanan aren't really working together anymore. Kanan left the book and it's not ever coming out. If I have something tangible to show you and let you see what we're doing, then that pretty much proves that, hey, it's not a scam. We're not ripping people off. The book is coming out. Matter of fact, there something I want to actually mention about that. We're actually going to add a few more pages to Brand. I think 3, it might be 4, but it was 48 pages, but just to flesh some things out. And Kanan had approached me about something that he thought was a good idea, and he wanted to, kind of add a little bang and zip to the comic. So we're going to add and he sent me the layouts. The layouts are already done. So I've seen the new layouts. I saw the last page of Brand, and I know how the way Kanan, I've said often that I'm a director on the book. I was like, I wrote the book, but I'm kind of like a director. But Kanan's definitely, if Kanan's not the director, he is definitely my cinematographer, because the way he sets everything up, the way he lays the panels out and all this kind of, I just, and that last page, I really liked it. And Kanan was like, I read the script and I really liked the way you ended the book, this first chapter. And I can't wait till he illustrates it and I get to, it's going to be a nice single page splash. And it's, man, I'm just really excited. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we will be done with Kanan's part and he will be on to illustrating Way of the Gun. Cause that's something that, I've already started advancing him money and getting ready. I'm still tweaking the script. So it's not quite where I want it yet, but I'm excited. Way of the Gun is coming. It'll have 6 covers, 2 from Kanan, and then, Elliot Fernandez and Matthew Weldon, which you can see the Matthew Weldon cover behind me. You can see the Matthew Weldon's variant cover for Way of the Gun hanging up on the wall there. And I'm really excited about progressing this story into the next chapter, because I want to get that's the big thing I want to accomplish for Way of the Gun is obviously I need David and Dawn to meet each other finally. So she's still a kid in this first book, so we'll kind of skip ahead a few years to where she's an adult, and then she's going to meet David Craven. And then we'll do sometime next year, we'll do a book called The Union. And then we'll have, I'm curious of how I'm going to do that, because as I was explaining that to Kanan, that's when David and Dawn will get married in The Union. So we'll go from this first chapter to Way of the Gun, and then we'll do The Union and, actually have them get married. And then I want to take them, because the end of this story arc will be to Las Vegas. So that's where we will have the final showdown with all the members of the Covenant and against David and, all these cast of characters. I'm really excited about everything that we've got coming, not only for myself, but, Ethan's projects and John Malin's projects, and there's just so many exciting things happening. But I'm here, and for you guys that are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. We want you here. Please subscribe. But hey, man, hang out with us. Some stuff is going to happen. Hopefully, you guys will give us that opportunity to stick around and entertain you. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. And if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel. Everywhere is at Akari Press. And if you type in akaripress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kanan White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm out.